Hi, everyone. Welcome to Barzo Empire Podcast. This podcast is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about a little bit about our business, where it's standing, our knowledge of cash flow, of how much is the profit we made. We're already half of the year already. We're almost end of to the end of this year completely. It's gone so quickly. So we're gonna talk about something that has completely could change our future of our business and our finance. Meaning, some of us are like, where the money is going. Are we having enough cash flow? Are we having enough profit? How many clients do we handle every day or once a week or once a month? So how you guys keep up with everything? The problem is not making more um cash flow in certain meaning having more clients. We How many can you handle per month? And if those clients are profitable, are they making you profit for your business, or is basically making you lose money also? Because a lot of sometimes us we make discounts for our clients and sometimes we lose, unfortunately, right? So what the problem is not just income, right? The problem is that all business owners, and I've seen this before, I was like that my first year. We wait until taxes comes, right? To know exactly how much we make the whole year. And then we see we have losses, we have certain gains, we spend more than we thought. We never thought we gonna spend in our business because now we need more things like apps, websites, more employees. Um, we have AI now, so it's kind of like now we need a bigger budget, basically, right? So I've seen business owners that make 30,000 a year and build up wealth, and that's fantastic. And I also see people that make more or less six figures a whole year, but they're struggling financially. Why? Because they don't know where the money is going towards to. Do you guys ask your question from January through now, from June, where that money is right now? Do you reinvest it in your business or you use it for personal reasons? Sometimes, unfortunately, we mix business with our personal. Do we have our separate bank account for it? Or we using our personal accounts for business that you're not supposed to mix? Like I said in other episodes, we cannot mix. So where is that money going to? Do we have enough money to pay our employees? Do we have enough money if, if there's an emergency in your business, or buy more supplies, or or hire a new person to create more marketing, more to make your business more visible? If you have an office and it's not only home based, but you have a front store, do you have that rent for next month? Because right now we're seeing a lot of things are going up. And unfortunately, a lot of business are suffering because of that. Rent is going up, electricity is going up, everything is going up, unfortunately. So it's kind of hard to keep up with everything. So I'm gonna talk about taxes, credit, money habits, like a CEO, because sometimes we don't understand the three areas that we need to work harder that and necessary. Many of us entrepreneurs, we confuse certain things, right? When it comes to money, because we have a bookkeeper, we have an accountant, but we need to know where the money is going. We are basically our job. We're posting every day. We're working long hours. We answer emails if we don't have anybody to help us. We taking clients' calls. We are running around constantly. And at the end of each month. Who does let's for example use a software, right? Without having a bookkeeper, without having an accountant or anything like that. Because that's what I do. Because basically, I do bookkeeping, so I do my own bookkeeping, and I keep track of everything what I earn, what I owe, what I basically pay for my employees and everything, right? So, as your question, there's three questions. How much money did I make this, let's say from January through May? How much money did I make? Were there losses more than gains? Did I have more profit? Did I pay myself? Because remember, when you're LLC, you need to pay yourself. Sole proprietor is the same thing. C corp is different because more you could do your own and pay by separate thing. I'm not gonna get into that much into probably the other episode. I'm gonna spend a little bit about the difference of LLC, C corp, and S corp and everything, right? But C corp has a different strategy, have a different way to pay themselves. So how much you spend, meaning advertisement, employees, if you have employees, rent, utilities, and extra things like the website, the domain, Canva, or any other apps that you're using to make your business more visible, right? And how much profit do you keep? That's what I ask a lot of my clients when I work with business owners. They don't know how much profit they do or how much they spend the whole 6 months. Because remember, always do a reset. For 6 months, we do a reset. So that means we take a break, we work everything out, we make sure we know exactly where our money is going to, right? We make sure our business is on basically on track to know exactly if it's taking out more money or is bringing out more money. So as a CEO, we just don't focus on revenue. We focus on profit. We are, the question isn't how much it came in, is how much money does it stay in the business? Meaning, how much of cash flow, which service does it make more cash flow? Will my business survive the whole year? Because we know there's a lot ups and downs in our business, and everybody is basically the same in the same boat, basically. So let's talk about taxes. I know taxes only, well, from January to April. No, 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 no. When I tell my clients, we are basically the whole year, right? Our biggest mistake as a business owner is like treating taxes as a seasonal thing. All right, I did my taxes, personal, business, everything. I'm done. But that's not it because when it comes to taxes, you sometimes business owner doesn't know how much they make the whole year. And they are looking for receipts, they're looking for their bank statement, and that's the reason they get audited. Or sometimes they get in trouble with with the IRS because they are not complying, or sometimes they don't talk to their accountant or their bookkeeper because they don't know. We need to keep track. Even you guys have a system of keeping track of everything. Sometimes we need to make sure that during those 6 months we already passed, right? We know where the money is. We know how much profit you're making the whole year. I mean, sorry, the 6 months. So for you to know at the end of the year, oh, I made $40,000. I made 10 already I made 10K or I'm overboard $1 million. So you need to know exactly how much your business making. And it goes both ways, personal too. Because if you have a 9 to 5 job, you need to know how much you're saving, how much is your rent, your utilities, subscriptions, your spending, and sometimes you're splurging. So it's like it's like having also your business. You need to know where everything is going. Classes you need to take sometimes, license you need to renew. So everything adds up. And sometimes I see business are having a lot of losses because they spend way more than they actually have a cash flow, right? They wait into tax season to review their expenses. I've seen this before, and probably I was just like that was the first year. And I know as a tax preparer, that was one of my learning learning that I learned my lesson. I'm not gonna wait until December hits and I'm scattered. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just say like I'm not, but a lot of business owners are like that. Because when I ask them how much do you guys make, and I get impressed when my clients come with a huge book, with everything written down and everything explaining. That's how you need to do it. Write down everything. And now there's a lot of apps you could put everything, expenses, invoices, how much you pay your employees, if you do a 1099, if you are doing just paying cash and checks and everything. So you need to keep track. Don't wait till tax season comes to see and discover sometimes new things and sometimes you discover problems. And then you're like, oh, that's where my money is going to. So keep track of everything. It's not too late because to be a successful business owner, we need to be prepared for the whole year. It's like being prepared for a snowstorm, right? So a business is like that. You need to be prepared for anything. You had to track income, track expenses, review the numbers monthly, review your how much you're paying yourself also. Plan ahead because I know tax season is really stressful, especially personal and business, because you don't know if you're gonna owe them or you're gonna get a refund, right? And always have find a way to save money for emergencies. Because if you, when you run a business, you need to have a savings at least for a couple months, just in case those couple months are kind of slow, right? So you don't get that much clients, or your returning clients are only certain service, and if you're multi-service, then you need to see which service are giving you more profit, and then just out of that, try to figure out how to save a little bit, right? You had to have an extra budget for your business. It's like in personal. You need to save at least for 6 months for emergencies. Meaning, if you own your own house, if something breaks, if you need to change something, or you need to repair something, that's how business is also. So you need to know and plan ahead and make sure that doesn't catch anything by surprise. And it's gonna be a huge difference because you're gonna know your numbers. That's the most important thing is knowing your numbers, knowing how much, or I made this month this much. I pay myself because you need to pay yourself this much, right? So what I have left, how much is the profit? Which service is giving me more profit, more cash flow? Do I need more clients? Do I need change my strategies? Do I need to not add more service? Do I need to add a different landing page or a different hook to get more people to notice my business, right? So now we're gonna change over the subject. Credit. I see a lot of business are suffering for that, especially when you start out. Like I did also. Many people, we think credit is only to buy a house, credit cards, cars, but it's not. It's like I said in another episode, your credit is your vehicle because it will help you. Because if you damage your personal, you are a business owner, you're not gonna get nothing. Unfortunately, you're not gonna able to start your business credit. Why? Because they had to see that your personal credit is good standing for them to trust you with a loan for your business or a credit card. Because if you cannot pay a credit card for personal, how you gonna pay a credit card for your business, right? So it's your ability to qualify for finance, for finance your business, to pay your employees, to get that dream office that we all want, right? And able to get everything, all the supplies we need for our business and pay those extra fees that we need to pay, those license that we need to pay. So the ability to obtain business funding is a major thing because interest rates, your opportunities, your financials will be more flexible. Good credit creates more options, not just business but personal also. Mm. Because remember, it's like it balances out basically. Good credit, better options. Bad credit, there's gonna be a million obstacles, not just for your business but for personal too. Because that means you want to buy a car, it's gonna be higher interest because you don't have a good credit. If you wanna buy a house mortgage, it's gonna be higher. Your insurance is gonna be higher. Everything's gonna be way too much. And then that's what happens because people don't pay on time, because unfortunate things happen. And that's the reason we need to save just in case. In business, you need to pay your credit on time, your credit cards on time. Because if you damage your business credit, it's over. That means you need to reconstruct everything. And then it's gonna be harder for people to give you credit cards, to give you loans, because it could see that you're not someone that they could trust you with that because you owe or you're always late on payments, right? And it creates an obstacle basically for a business owner not to have a good credit. And also for personal, because if we want that car or we want that rent an apartment, now we need to have good credit. Because if not, then we need a co-signer to able, and it's hard to find people that will vouch for you and that you're able to pay that rent. And it goes the same way for business. Even when you're renting an office space, and especially if you're in lease and a commercial, that's gonna be a way more to them to see exactly how your credit's doing. So you need to s- have less risk and when it comes to credit, make better choices. So many entrepreneurs, we start our business using our personal credit, right? Because we unfortunately we cannot start using business credit because we're brand new. We're way brand new. We just started. We still don't know if that business is going to be profitable in a year or so or 3 years, right? So we use our personal credit. And then eventually, yeah, it becomes a little like a obstacle and a problem because we cannot mix our personal and business. But little by little, you guys, we're gonna start building our credentials for our business, and eventually, our business is gonna grow. It is gonna grow slowly, but it's gonna grow. So as a CEO, we need to understand is separate personal expenses, business expenses, personal credit, and business credit. All of them have to be separate. Nothing cannot be combined. We cannot combine those. We need to, for us to grow our business, we need to have business credit. To grow our personal life, having everything what we want. So we need a good credit for everything basically, right? Fundings, opportunity, financial. You need to make better decisions. It is hard, it takes time, but and unfortunately nobody teaches us that, unfortunately. Nobody tells you exactly how to do taxes or how taxes are gonna affect you, a whole or how credit's gonna affect you on the personal and business. Nobody teaches us that, unfortunately. We learn the hard way, meaning destroying our credit sometimes because we sometimes we live paycheck by paycheck and it's not enough sometimes. Unfortunately, now everything goes up. Everything is going up, rent's going up, utilities are going up. So it's kind of hard to just be based on a paycheck. Or as a business owner, we don't get paid a paycheck. We wish we did, but we don't. So we rely on our clients. We rely on making that cash flow constantly, making that money grow and our business grow at the same time. So always review your numbers regularly, right? Once you have a client, they pays you, you do an invoice, write it down. Oh, this person did I offer this service, this is how much they pay me, and now where is gonna go that money? We're gonna reinvest it in your business, meaning is going for rent or extra stuff we need like to pay an application, um, an app, or pay employees, pay ourselves, and know their cash flow, how it goes steady or it has ups and downs. Understand the profit. Monitor your expenses. Avoid emotional spending. And that goes both ways actually, because business sometimes we get to spend, I don't know, but business probably just supplies us mostly we overspend sometimes just to make sure we have enough. But personal, yeah, we get to emotionally spend sometimes and we end up with a huge balance in our credit cards. So try to save money for at least your goal for 6 months. For 6 months. Try not to go into more debt because it's going to get hard for you to come out of debt. Make decision using data, using apps that could help you, or talk to your bookkeeper. Talk to your bookkeeper. Okay, how much I spend this month for my business? How much I made for this month? How much I lost this month? So have a great communication with your bookkeeper. And then ask, can I afford this? If you want to make changes for your business or getting a new license or getting a new classes, then ask yourself, can I afford this? Or can I make it? Could I save it and leave it for next month if it's not an emergency license? And also for personal, can I afford this? Sometimes we get to overspend some things that we don't need. So now we had to make habits. A weekly money meeting, like I always do. Do it with yourself. Go, if you're like me, grab a notebook, grab a piece of paper and a pen. and right, the income that you receive, the expenses that you pay, the invoices, the credit cards that you owe, what's going to be your saving goals? What's going to be your business goals? And do that for personal too. Because we receive an income if you have a paycheck every 2 weeks or every week, right?